Hey, Ryan.
Oh, hey, Patrick.
Just got done hacking up a lung.
Yeah. Whew.
Turns out I've been a smoker for the last 20 years.
I thought I was alone here, but I was wrong. Patrick
Nope,
Klepek
Thomas
is here with
Thomas
me.
is
And
alone.
Thomas is the one who's alone.
Yeah, we don't have a title screen here, but this game is called Thomas Was Alone. It comes out in a day or two. It is imminent.
This is mad indie.
It is mad indie. The origins of this game are, it started part of the Ludum Dare, which is one of those like game design challenges, those 24-hour, 48-hour ones.
Oh, a game jam.
Yeah, you know, one of those.
I'm familiar with those.
Me too. And so they made a version of this that was ran I think it was just a Flash version, and then they said, hey, we like this, so we're gonna make a new one.
So we'll put it on Unity, because that's easy apparently.
It is Unity. Yeah, this is built in Unity. Unity's become kind of the de facto indie engine because if you make it for one platform, it's very easy to port that to other platforms. So
well, let's show me what this is about, man.
So this is really early, and then we'll jump ahead to get to the more complex stuff.
Was alone. Wow, a weird first thought to have.
So it's this is again the intro. The blocks talk, or rather, there's narration that implies talking between the blocks.
Listing his observations for posterity. 1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing. Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think! What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
So this is kind of setting the tone. This is...
yeah, I like it so far.
This definitely continues throughout. You are introduced also then to new blocks. And then you have this narration that I read. I was like, this reminds me a whole lot of Wheatley from Portal 2. And there was a direct quote saying from one of the designers saying, yes. Yes, that's
accurate. We were accurate. Directly inspired by that.
We are going to own up to that comparison.
He was starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Paranoia.
Well, it's kind of like one of those like ultimate video game gestures, right? It's like this kind of takes it back to, you know, the 2600 to like, you know, kind of the prototype of the very start of kind of games and graphics where you had to imagine that
like adventure.
This block was something more than just a block, and you know they're kind of playing on those, you know, those visual touchstones while also obviously giving it a much more kind of robust personality through other means. Interesting.
Was the world testing him? No.
And the game, yeah,
and you know, there's this kind of this thread of self-awareness here.
Yes, like the dialogue just before us, you know, remarked how it's interesting how each stage is a little bit ahead of the skills that Thomas already had.
Right.
So it's definitely, you know, aware that it is a game, but it definitely goes a little bit deeper into, you know, there's such implications that you are bugs within a computer, and that you trying to, I've only played like maybe like the first 15 stages, and there's something like 100. But yeah, it definitely sounds like you are rogue glitches in a software program, and the reason it's getting more difficult is because
you're being debugged.
I think so. That is me speculating on where this goes, but that's their, you know, sort of narrative explanation for why things are getting more challenging.
This shadow casting stuff's pretty nice. I like this.
Thomas had a new theory.
All right, so we're gonna
World.
jump ahead. So these are the, this is like just the stage select. So you can see there's quite a few stages in this game. I'm almost at the end of the first one. Or second one, I guess.
Like, in a way, this really strikes me as a kind of a good companion piece to Fez,
Yeah, sure, definitely.
as far as certain thematic stuff.
All right, so this is when they introduce a second object. So, and they each have different properties. So this guy can definitely jump around. He's got a much larger leap, and then you can swap to the other guy. Not as much of a leap, but he's much smaller, so he can get in tighter spaces. So then you have to start combining the two to get them to where they need to go.
Getting your Lost Vikings on here.
Exactly. Blizzard's not going to make that game. Somebody's got to.
And without Vikings, there's just blocks.
Had been doing fine.
So this guy's name is Chris. And these little things are respawn points.
Okay.
Well, not actually. Not technically graceful.
So a lot of times you'll start in different points of the map.
Fine.
Okay, interesting.
Gotta confine yourselves.
Skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Oh. I really like the music in this game.
Yeah.
It's very chill, but gets the job done. So oftentimes, the maps will be set up so that, this is very early versions of this, but where you converge at certain points and then split off to go do your own thing, and then merge again at certain points, split off to do your own thing. Sometimes there are buttons that some characters can only access that will, change the environment to introduce stairs that make it manageable. So here's an early instance of that.
So you got to use the shorty here to slide under there and hit that button,
Glowy white.
and then you can.
But then,
You need to go down.
right, because see, the small guy can't get up there.
His jump isn't high enough. Yeah.
What
do this.
What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
And there are things you can do to move multiple guys around at once. I can't jump in this instance, but I can move left to right.
Okay, interesting.
On a flat surface, anyway.
Great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Now, let's see if I can.
How I was gonna say how challenging have these gotten so far?
Not too challenging.
You've been.
well,
there's still a ways to go, obviously.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump ahead to where I'm at.
Okay.
So we'll get to stuff that I don't know how to do. Where we've introduced 3. I believe this is the most amount of objects you get, but I could be wrong about that. So now you have one that can jump really high, is very skinny, can go hugely long distances.
But then there will obviously be paths that it cannot.
Right, because it's so tall, then it needs the help of everyone else.
Happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was
So now you've got, that has changed the dynamics of that block so that he can get through here. Ooh, wait a minute. So he must be able to get.
Well, they can both get through there. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, hold on. So it's not hard to see pretty quickly, where this game could start getting pretty nuanced in terms of.
Sure, I could see there being some challenging puzzles in here. If you're having to use kind of all 3 like this, like using each other as a path, but then having to also get everyone up there, or to wherever your goal is.
And again, this is still pretty early yet, so the game is.
Red's not gonna make it. Oh, there you go.
You're getting a lot of situations where the game is having you kind of do the same stacks over and over again, which are clearly meant to start internalizing, hey, this is going to be a pretty useful
Common
skill.
thing, yeah.
You should keep that in mind.
He didn't mind them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding every time John jumped.
Oh,
Yep, gotta bring him back down. And I like the way that, you know, the blocks stretch out just a little bit to convey the jump.
yeah, you know, it's a really simple game that has a lot more character than it probably ought to. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel like they get a lot of distance out of the narration and just a little bit of animation on the blocks, as well as this kind of shadow casting, this vague light sourcing that they're doing.
like they just get a lot more mileage out of a game that mechanically, you know, doesn't need it, but that it adds quite a bit to the game to have it. So, you know, it's pretty clear how once they went from being sort of a game, you could see how this would have just been a game jam game. Like, okay, we have very limited resources in terms of what we can accomplish, you know, visually.
Yeah.
And then once you've got that basics down, it's like, okay, well, the mechanics work. Do we really need to create complex characters, or can we give them life through some other means? And they definitely, I think, have done a good job of conveying that without. I can move these guys. Oh, balls. Shit. Cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to use him to get back up.
Yeah. So this is coming to Steam.
I don't know. You can, if you go to thomaswasalone.com. You can get access to it. There wasn't a price announced last. I'm gonna have to get. Last I looked, but if it's anything like its contemporaries, you're not looking at anything more than $10.
Yeah, $5 to $10 seems right around the.
Yeah, it runs on PC and Mac. I constantly reference my own MacBook Air as sort of a barometer, but it runs beautifully on something like that. It scales really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't seem like there's too much heavy lifting to be done here from a technical standpoint. But we don't have a price point.
It's out June 30th. So
we do have a date.
Yeah, so it is out this week. So this coming Saturday.
So you can find out where to get it at thomaswasalone.com.
Yeah, and I think we can probably pause it here. I think this gives a pretty good sense of the kind of progression you can expect from the game. Like you can see over here now you've got water.
The way things are getting more complex. Yeah, and they introduced water earlier as far as being a hazard for you. So
To make his performance
So it sounds like you're going to have a situation like, I'm not going to go through and solve this puzzle, but that you'll have to line everything up, and then that one middle one is not on a flat surface, so you have to get the others set up and then drop that down. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are more physics-y puzzles like that that require you to have some very specific timing that is not just stacking your blocks. But
physics-y.
Yeah, that's a genre.
Physics-y.
That sounds like you're sick. Feeling very, very physics-y.
I've been physics-y all week, Patrick, so we should probably end this quickly.
All right, so...
But thanks for showing this to me. This seems really cool. I feel richer now knowing about it. I really enjoy their approach to the visuals, and I'm with you on the soundtrack. And yeah, it's an interesting, unique little thing here. Thomas Was Alone.
All right, thanks, Ryan.